Listen 24/7. Online or with the app. NBC Sports Radio, because our game never stops.
So there's more on this Dave Meltzer's claims to TNA. The investor news now, that's a whole nother story. First off, let's get this cleared up. As EC3 said on this very show a couple weeks back, anyone looking for investors for their company is not a bad thing. It's a good thing, actually. It only means that the company is growing and getting too big for just one person or whatever you have. Can we all agree on that? You agree with that, Boobs?
I can agree with that.
Secondly, not a soul within earshot of this show can determine the amount of money Dixie Carter has or TNA has in their accounts. It's just none of our business, and we don't know. We just don't know. And it's not like TNA is going around and shooting out a press release saying we have this amount and we have this in our bank accounts. So if you ask me, this whole story is pretty much cart before the horse for Dave Meltzer and the gang at the Observer. There hasn't been a logical voice or sentence I've read involving the matter these past 2 weeks on TNA's investor situation. So again, I went to TNA and asked them for a statement on the claims, and they basically told me they will not comment on them. And who's to blame them, right, Boobs?
I don't.
It's none of our business. Second, when they want or if they want it to be known, they will disclose it. They will tell us. And that's where we all should just leave it. And let me add this one thing. When the WWE announced its IPO some years back, did anyone say anything remotely close to what they are saying about TNA?
Well, no.
And by definition, what is an IPO? It's an initial public offering. That's what it means.
Yes.
It's the first sale of a stock by a private company to the public. That's an IPO. It's a stock.
Yeah, they're trying to make money to put into the business.
Yes.
To grow it. Yeah.
Let me get the official definition of an IPO. Initial public offering is the first sale of a stock by a private company to the public. IPOs are often issued by a smaller, younger company seeking a capital to expand, but can also be done by large, privately owned companies looking to become publicly traded. Point blank, it's you, Boobs, it's me, and other parts of the public owning a piece of a company. That's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line. So technically, are we or are we not investors into the WWE as stockholders? We're investing into the WWE.
Pretty much.
So what TNA has done, if the claims are correct, which we don't know, because there's no facts to it, TNA hasn't come out and said anything. So what TNA has done, if these claims are correct, is to privately pursue investors to help with the growth of the company.
You know, I have a little bit of news here from the Tennessean newspaper, Nick. And I quote, moving our television production to Skyway Studios provides us with the ability to utilize some of the newest technologies, incredible studio space, and satellite uplink facilities, TNA CFO Dean Broadhead said. This move sets us up nicely for future strategic domestic and international growth. Skyway Studios has been proactive in courting Nashville entertainment companies, especially music businesses, to do more production work there. Impact Wrestling is a well-known brand producing and delivering hundreds of hours of original content each year to millions of fans around the world, and we are pleased that they chose to house their operations at our facility, said Julie Stadler, CEO and owner of Skyway Studios. The production facility switch for TNA comes as the company is actively searching for new investors. TNA spokesman Eric Barnes declined to comment on the investment search.
Yeah.
And that's from the Tennessean newspaper, the biggest newspaper in that part of Tennessee where TNA is located.
So basically that's just saying that TNA is growing. They just moved into a new studios to house their production.
Hell, the studio courted them to come to the facility. I mean,
dude, enough's enough already on the hate of TNA. I don't understand what these websites have to gain.
They gain the ability. They gain chap lips from kissing Meltzer's Tookus, because most of these websites, and I've looked, Nick. Most of them are just rehashing. It's like they read the Wrestling Observer newsletter and just write about it on their website because they know it's going to bring traffic to them so they can get those little dimes and nickels that they get from their Google ads that annoy the hell out of us when we go to a website. They're looking to make money instead of report the truth like we do here.
But don't you think that, they have to enjoy TNA a little bit more than WWE if they just keep talking about TNA the way they do?
No, they don't even watch the product.
When you were young, didn't your parents teach you if you don't have anything nice, don't say anything at all? Or basically, if you don't like something, why do you keep focusing on it? Why do you keep talking about it? Why do you keep watching? Why do you keep doing this and that? Leave it alone. Drop it. Move on, right?
It's like me and spinach. I don't like it. I don't eat it. If I don't like something, if it's on TV and I'm not enjoying it, I don't like it, I find something I do like. And I don't talk about, I'm not a fan of True Blood, so I don't watch it. I don't understand why people are enthralled with The Walking Dead. I don't watch it. I don't talk about things that I'm not interested in.
Here's another thing. Look at all the old TNA guys the WWE has now. Where's everyone stating that WWE? How everyone came out and said TNA is taking all the WWE old guys. You remember that?
WCW. Oh my God! Hogan jumped ship. Hart jumped ship. Savage jumped ship. They all went to greener pastures, is what they did. And when it comes to some of these old TNA talent, it's been programmed into the minds of all pro wrestlers that if you to make it into business, you got to be on that roster of WWE.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that. I don't think that's true. I think making it to a mainstream product like TNA is making it in the wrestling industry. I think successful. Working for a promotion like Lucha Underground or ROH or Evolve is making it in the pro wrestling business because the fans there are diehard.
They appreciate.
And they show it at every turn. They're the ones out there buying the merch at the swag table. And that's really the hallmark of any great talent is, like you said earlier, the connection with your fan base. Do people bite into your character? Are people concerned when they think you're injured for real? It's not about what show you're on. It's about, did you sell yourself to the fans? Do they have an invested reason to tune in every week and see you perform?
Plain and simple.
Exactly.
330-752-6835. Nick of the Boobs, Pro Wrestling 24/7. Edward in College Station, Texas writes, Meltzer is the cancer to pro wrestling. Glad PWI made him look like an idiot because he didn't cover all his bases. Yeah.
Well, Edward,
he did pretty much look like an idiot.
I agree with Edward, but he's more like the colon cancer.
Here's the thing. No one called him out on it, like we said before. That's the thing that bothers me the most. He didn't come back and retract his comments, and no one called him out on it. They continued to read his blogs or that stupid-ass letter he sends out, and no one's cared. And why? Because it's TNA. It's the thing to do. Everyone bashes TNA for no apparent reason at all. And by the way, PWI, I believe that's another site that doesn't recognize TNA's championship, so the hell with them as well. Even the haters of TNA can't agree on the hate for TNA. Mike Johnson of Wrestling News, or wherever the hell he's from, he's a hater too. He and Meltzer can't even agree on the amount of hate to give TNA.
Oh.
Meltzer says that TNA investors are already putting money into TNA to keep them on pop. Well, why wouldn't they? How stupid of a comment is that? Well, let me read that again. Meltzer says TNA investors are already putting money into TNA, keeping them on pop. Well, I would hope so, if they're investors into the damn company.
Geez, don't the stockholders of WWE put money into the company to help them stay on the USA Network?
It helps them function. It helps them keep afloat. Why wouldn't investors do it? This doesn't make sense to me, dude.
You know something else? When they reworked the contract, when they got the contract with the USA Network back a few years ago, didn't they take a cut in ad revenue to get on the network?
How the hell if I know, dude?
I believe that was one of the things people were talking about back then, how they had to take they went from being like getting 55% down to 40% of the ad revenue, because, you know, at the time the product wasn't hot, which it's not hot now. It's not even freaking lukewarm right now.
Warm, yeah. Oh, man. Brian in New Zealand, he writes, why anyone even bothers to read what Meltzer says is beyond me. Not sure, Brian. I mean, it's been proven that, you know, some of his stories, his articles are not factual. Reports.
And, you know, Nick,
cares,
listeners, just so you know, Brian in New Zealand doesn't even get to see Impact Wrestling because they don't have a contract in New Zealand, because WWE has put roadblocks up at every turn. They're working on it, and I hope, you know, our buddy Shockey has talked about that on the PW247 NET Facebook group about how they don't have coverage down there in New Zealand, and he's got a campaign going to bring them to television in New Zealand.
You think WWE has roadblocks on that, though?
I think WWE has roadblocks all over the world. I think Vince has went to these companies, well, if TNA shows up here, we're going to pull our product, or we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And for me, that's corporate blackmail. I think the WWE uses its weight, and, you know, and most of it's the egos of Triple H, Stephanie, and Vince, to bully about these entertainment outlets, television stations, television services.
I do kind of believe the tier dilemma that TNA and Pop had with Comcast. I do feel WWE had something to do with that, because who owns Comcast? NBC Universal. Where is the USA Network? NBC Universal.
It's not just Comcast,
so
Nick. There's a lot of little independent cable services that have dropped services like Destination America and Pop TV that they had for years on their network. And I think a lot of this has to do with WWE and, I hate to say it, USA.
Well, yeah, I mean, they have to, you know, keep their investment afloat. I mean, why put a competition, and whatever you may say about TNA, it is competition. Competition
creates cash, because people look at the excitement when at NXT Dallas they just showed Bobby Roode in the crowd. Mm-hmm. The internet was abuzz with Bobby Roode possibly coming to NXT, coming to WWE.
Look where AJ Styles is now. Don't tell me TNA doesn't have good wrestlers in their roster.
Yeah, they're going to bury AJ after Sunday night.
Of course. We'll get into that. We're going to also get into something more favorable to listeners. That's TNA's Sacrifice. We'll do that when we get back right here on Pro Wrestling 24/7, ProWrestling247.net.
Twitter, we're all over it. Hit us up at NBC Sports Radio and follow your favorite names for up-to-the-minute information. Or you can download the NBC Sports Radio app for on-the-go sports coverage and take us wherever you go. NBC Sports Radio.